Hi again. The Age of Exploration 3. The Explorers Part 2. Okay, Part 1. Remember we talked about Leif Erikson, Christopher Columbus, and my favorite, Ferdinand Magellan. Today we're talking about the only English explorer that made my Hall of Fame, Henry Hudson. He made 4 separate attempts trying to find the Northwest Passage. Well, what's the Northwest Passage, Mr. Walker? Well, they thought traveling west from Europe that when they came into the Americas here, there's gotta be a way through. I know there's a river, a waterway, something that's gonna take us all the way through to the Pacific and around to Asia. However, there wasn't one. They did not want to go all the way around the tip of South America, which was very dangerous and very long trip. Eventually, I think about 300 years later, Roald Amundsen found that you could, if you were really lucky, find a Northwest Passage up here in the Arctic, but you only had a few weeks of the year that you could get through without running into ice and getting stranded. So very dangerous. He made 4 such journeys trying to find this, Henry Hudson, and never did find it. The problem, and this happens to a lot of explorers, their lives tend to end tragically. His men were tired of the search. They had gotten so far north, they were so cold and so hungry, they mutinied. They ended up putting Henry, one of his sons, and about 8 of his loyal crewmen in a small boat and pushed them off, never to be seen again. And you might want to know this. A couple things that were named after Henry Hudson. One was a bay. Guess what they called it? Yeah, Hudson Bay. Pretty original. And a famous river that goes right by Manhattan. It's called, yep, Hudson River. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got these two guys. Okay, they have a lot in common. Don't include me in there. And a few differences. Okay. Hernan Cortez and Francisco Pizarro. I can't roll my R's. Got to work on that. Both sailed for Spain. They both conquered empires in the Americas. You didn't know this. They were second cousins. Cortez conquered the Aztec Empire. How did he do that? We may get into that later. Pizarro conquered the Inca Empire. These empires were the most powerful in the New World. Cortez ended up dying of pleurisy in Spain in 1547. Pleurisy is a swelling of the tissue between your chest and your lungs. It doesn't sound very good. Pizarro was killed, which happens a lot in those days, in 1541 by an arch enemy. That's another good story. And finally, we've got Amerigo Vespucci. What do you suppose was named after Amerigo? What sounds like Amerigo? Yeah, America. He is the person that we named America after. A cartographer or map maker was the fellow who did it. He did it because he thought, oh, Amerigo is quite an explorer, very intelligent. He did a lot of exploration down in South America, and he was the first one who finally recognized that this new world was in fact a new world, not Asia. Many of the early explorers thought the land they were running into was just part of Asia. No, they were 2 separate continents altogether. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I did. And we'll talk again real soon. Bye.